Alright fellas, here we are back in Pokemon Masters, and here we're going to look at Arcsuit Lance at 6-star EX, 1 out of 5 here. I'm going to be honest with you. When I was, using this character and whatnot, I did not expect to have nearly as much fun with him as I did. I'm not going to say he's my favorite of the three, but, I really do enjoy using this dude. This guy's kit's insane. Looking at his offensive stats, you would say, okay, maybe not that impressive. 376 offenses is not bad, but it's nowhere near top tier offensive stats, right? And defenses are nothing to speak, write home about. 779 HP is good, but nothing crazy. Same with speed stat, right? No crazy stats. Well, he's got Hyper Beam and Giga Impact, right? 223 base power moves that are 2 gauges because he's got a passive here that is able to reduce the gauge requirements of his moves by 2. Makes them never miss and also makes them dragon type, of course. And so he's got, just out the gate, 2 gauge Hyper Beam and Giga Impacts. Awesome. He's got a trainer move that maxes his attack, crit, and special attack and applies gradual healing and endurance only for him taking 20% of his HP. No problem there. And then he's got what I like to call the Zarbomba. All right, we got ourselves the nuclear weapon Almighty Roar Hyper Beam, which, as tested in game, has a base power, no multipliers, considered like a critical strike 2 or insult to injury in the grid, whatever, over the base power of Ash's Thunderbolt. That's nuts. That is absolutely nuts, and especially when you consider that Lance has more activation measures than Ash, he's gonna be hitting harder. Maybe not at 1 out of 5, because 1 out of 5, but with the EX roll unlocked, level 150, the multipliers in the grid and whatnot, Lance is gonna be hitting harder than Ash's Thunderbolt, and that's absolutely fucking insane to think about. So we love to see that. 300 power here, by the way. So 300 power, it's got a times 3.4 multiplier. I don't know what that is. That's 900 something, right? Woo boy! That's 900 something base power, which is absolutely nuts at 1 out of 5, and of course it does increase with move levels. And then in the lucky skills, he's got Dragon Myth and Dragon Judgment, of course, giving enemy rebuff, raising his own rebuff, or the team's rebuff rather, and also applying more damage and damage reduction for the more dragon types you have on the team. He's got the ability to lower enemy defense and special defense by 6 stat ranks, depending on which type of move you use against them, and that is infinitely repeatable, so they have pretty much effectively infinitely lowered defense and special defense to -6, which is nuts, not only for damage but also enemy gimmick deactivation. And then he's also got his trainer move here, which reduces damage when hit by a move while HP is full, and restore his HP while he is hit by an attack move while his HP is full. Pretty good, and we're going to be making a lot of usage of all of these different abilities in the also his innate divine sync move. His divine move, innate multipliers multi effect is Smarty Pants, right? Like a tech, he's got Smarty Pants. Just wanted to let that be known. So he's got a multiplier, right? But whatever. Let's just go ahead and hop in these battles. I got 3 things lined up. I've got ourselves a stupidly Overkill stadium battle, a Solo versus Azelf, and then a Thornton battle. So let's just go ahead and hop into these and see how well Lance is able to conquer all our dragon types, man. Show himself to be the best. This man's nuts. Love it. Alright, so for that Overkill Stadium battle, I went with a setup of Anniversary Raihan and Lucas. This was mostly to gauge Lance's strength with his Hyper Beam, honestly, in on-type numbers. Just because people love seeing, big, fat, funny numbers, right? That makes sense, of course. And this was pretty much to kind of cater to that a little bit better. I do want to note, I did not end up running Crit Strike 2 on Lance here. I had Enlightenment because I forgot to change it back to Crit Strike 2 after I did the Azelf solo. So he doesn't have that 20% multiplier. Which, not that it matters anyway, his damage, spoiler alert, is nuts, but it's fine, it's whatever. So I spend most of the time here debuffing the enemy's defensive stats, just so we can make sure that they're all well, good, prepared, and whatnot for Lance to be able to do as much damage as possible. In this setup here, we get Lucas's Sync move in. He's got Dragon Zone, of course. We do get Lucas's Sync move in for the support EX because my Lucas is EX rolled. We get the super effective next with Raihan for the trainer move, as well as Sandstorm for more special moves next. So we've got +1 special moves next, super effective next, -1 dragon rebuff, we got Dragon Zone, and -6 special defense for the power up of Lance's buddy move. Of course, we could have gone for more special moves next with Raihan, and we could have also gone for Lance's Sync move for the dragon rebuff. But I didn't find it necessary because, bonk, 91k, again, out of a move that is not even fully enhanced. Again, no critical strike 2 or anything like that. It's absolutely nuts. And then we have the same enhancement on Lucas's Roar of Time there to beat the Flygon side, which it still doesn't even compare. So kind of just goes to show you, pretty strong move. Also, I want it to be noted that that was not even the max power of that move because it gets scaled off of defense and special defense. So it was effectively only half multipliers. Only half multipliers. So if you were to have optimization there, that move could easily do 200, 300,000 damage by itself. That's not an over exaggeration either. So probably about 200,000, not really 300,000, but still, yeah, a little bit good. Obviously, I don't think there's a reason to showcase Lance in any of these stadium battles, or unless you just want to hit the damage cap. Which, you know what? You know what? Maybe we'll do that for the 3 out of 5 showcase. Maybe we'll just go for damage cap buddy move with Lance. We'll see. We'll think about it. Whatever. There's the fucking stadium battle. Alright, and so next on the chopping block is Azelf here. Azelf solo is not really that bad. You do really heavily prefer to have the EX for it. I did use Naomi's run for reference. The Enlightenment 9 is pretty much necessary because of how Azelf is debuffing your defenses constantly, pretty much unceasingly. And I got pretty, I'm not going to say bad luck in terms of debuffs, but I didn't exactly get fantastic debuff luck. And this was an extremely consistent clear. Lance is able to double heal pretty much off of his gradual healing from the turn move on top of his passive skill that gives him a 6.5% extra healing. So he heals about 14% healing pretty much every single turn, which is not bad, for sure. And then also the big thing here is that Azelf's gimmick is it requires, you know, defensive debuffs, right? It changes its health, it changes its defensive weakness, you know, on the bar change. Or not bar change, but the half bar change. Well, Lance doesn't care again, because he's able to debuff the defenses to a -6 in one move, and he's able to obviously make usage of both offensive stats, which is awesome. And the Dragon rebuff, of course, does help out the damage in bar 1, and then we got the same move here to start out bar 2, so we've got that extra damage as well, on top of having a sync buff now, so our damage is enhanced even further. And we kind of just still really just do not care about what Azelf does. With Enlightenment 9, we don't really care about its debuffs that much, and then we're just doing way too much damage for the most part. The buddy move to end off bar 2 here is also very fun. How much is that doing? Yeah, about 26k, right? Pretty good. It's pretty good without having any partners or any form of enhancement other than the debuffs. You know, no special moves next or anything like that. But, you know, whatever. And then the Hyper Beams here each hit for about 8,000 a pop, and then the Giga Impact here to finish it off. Not bad at all. Again, I did utilize Naomi's run for this, so keep that in mind. Go watch that. You know, it's in the Legendary Arena solo doc. Also, Lance's endurance, the fact he gets it off the train move is the only reason we're able to survive that Iron Tail. Otherwise, I think we'd be... Can it miss? I think actually Azelf has Piercing Gaze. I don't actually remember what Azelf has. I need to remember that. But anyway, point being, Lance's endurance was pretty much crucial to that win. So, at least at this move level investment. So, yeah. Very, very, very solid solo, especially because Azelf is not really like an easy opponent, especially because it hits so damn hard. So the fact that someone without defense, he's got defensive mechanics with the healing, but the fact that he can do Azelf solo just by being a 90% damage focused unit, pretty funny. Love it. All right, and here's the battle versus Thornton. So Thornton, obviously being an ultimate battle, a lot of HP, a lot of strength. This is off type, by the way, very fun. Oh boy, where do I start? So, obviously Lance deactivates all of Thornton's gimmicks by applying the rebuff so that Thornton's status change requirement is mitigated, and also he is able to hit on both offensive sides, so the fact that Thornton he changes his defenses on the 60% health endurance, it also does not matter. If anything, it may make the battle... I'm not going to say it makes the battle easier, because it doesn't, but it makes for a pretty funny clear, where you're able to get like +6, 7, however many physical moves next boosted on Lance, so that his Giga Impact on the bar change, or the endurance, is actually putting up pretty much nuclear numbers, because again, it's like 7 physical moves next boosted. This utilizes, of course, Nate and Steven. There's definitely I would say there's almost certainly a more efficient way to clear this battle, but my brain doesn't work. No, like, it works, right? I did candy my Steven to 4 out of 5 for this. I don't think that's necessary, but the fact I was able to candy him and give him to 4 out of 5 just gives me and it gives me the debuffs just meant I didn't need a single potion. I'll let you know this. I didn't need a potion at all this single run. Didn't matter at all, and that's clearly good. So it allowed me to run Furious Brawn on Steven and Head Start 1 for the sync countdown stuff. The hardest part about this is honestly probably playing around Steelix's health to where you can turn deny the Stealth Rock, or You don't even have to turn denial to Stealth Rock, just KO it before it puts up Stealth Rock. The turn denial does help out quite a lot, does make the final bit of the battle a lot easier. And also playing around, having enough like physical moves up next boosts on Nate's buddy move. I would say that's probably one of the things to worry about, is just how Nate's buddy move is being played around, because he sadly does not have a very consistent DPS at all. More towards the end, the scale shots, they're not doing bad damage, but I mean, it's still scale shot, so you kind of gotta play around with that. Either way, whatever. Lance, of course, being able to do Hyper Beam damage to Thoron is, of course, really effective, right? We've got ourselves the Dragon Zone now, alongside the -1 rebuff from Lance, giving us a ton of extra power here. Nate, of course, for the extra damage. We've got Steven's arc passive. We got Lance's arc passive as well. All of this stuff just comes together and makes this all really powerful for a Dragon-type team, even though, again, Lance's our support instead of... it's not Lance. Steven's our support instead of someone else. I probably should have showcased like how good Lance was with Rosa, but I'll probably honestly just end up doing that against Palmer, though it's not necessary whatsoever. I think I'll just do that for the funny of it. There's the Hyper Beam, 100,000 damage. Yeah, again, really stupidly strong move. Again, for a move that has no multipliers. I do have Critical Strike too. I'm running that this time, so this isn't like last time. Just let that be known. This is where we're going to have the bar change, so we don't have to deal with that anymore. Alright, very cool. 26,000 damage, 60 the endurance, and now we can actually do damage with our physical moves. And again, as I stated, this is Lance with like +6 physical moves next boosted. Sorry, +7 physical moves next boosted on this next Giga Impact. Pretty strong. One fun thing about Lance also in this battle is that you're able to get his HP damage reduction back up pretty effectively. Hello, Nate, with the pretty solid Sing move. By obviously using Steven's recuperation and then using the Team Trash Tank with Steven, as well as Lance's own healing methods, he can get back up to full HP to where he could take blizzards and icy winds and whatnot pretty well, honestly. And also in this, like, if it wasn't for the fact that the battle was already going to be... Look at the damage. If it wasn't for the fact that this bar change wasn't already going to be extremely fast to clear because of how good Nate's damage would be alongside Lance's with his outrages, you could, of course, consider, giving, using potions on Lance so you don't have to worry about Thoron's blizzards, but clearly that didn't even matter here either. So, finish Thoron off here with Lance's Sync move for the coolness factor of it. Why not? I think Nate's Sync move is technically better because he does have Haymaker and Speedster Sync 5 activated alongside having a higher offensive stat than Lance. But still, it was for the fun clear, so that's whatever. The only real thing that Lance doesn't synergize too well with in the Thoron Ultimate battle is the fact that his Sing move is physical, which early on is not great, but of course later on, you just nuke that half bar, or that 60% endurance right there. So I mean, that works. I didn't really explain. I know I didn't really explain it too well, but it's mostly just like flinch turn 1, honestly, just so you don't have to deal with that icy wind. It allows for Lance to be able to take the Sync move better with his endurance, or his healthy buffer ability, and then mostly just try and ramp up as much physical moves next as you can with Nate's buddy move, and that's really all you gotta do. And you also should be debuffing the Size's defenses so that Nate can so you can get to the point where you're able to turn deny Steelix's Stealth Rocks, because the Stealth Rocks are really annoying. But yeah, whatever. That's the 1 out of 5 6-star AX Arc Suit Lance showcase. That buddy move is nuts. The fact that it's like Ash levels of power is absolutely insane to me. I really don't think I can stress that enough. Like, he's got a nuke that is superior to Ash's. Of course, Ash is a striker, but still, he's got a nuke superior to Ash. He's got the extra damage benefits from, like, rebuff that's better than Ash's because he can do -3, list with investment, and then he's got multipliers on it. And that alone's already insane. But then you've got to consider he's also got very, very good consistent DPS on top of it with utility of debuffing defenses and very good sustainability with his own healing and whatnot. Lance is insane. So, yeah. Let me know what you think about Arc Suit Lance down in the comments below at 6-star EX level at 1 out of 5. I will be doing a 4 out of 5 EX World Showcase next. I'm just going to skip 3 out of 5 and go straight to 4 out of 5 just because it is really the sweet spot for Lance. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll see you all later. Hope you all enjoyed. Peace out.